Only once I started loving myself, taking actions towards loving myself, did I become the person that I wanted to be. Welcome to another morning brew with Phoebe. I hope y'all enjoyed the first episode of this. If you have not checked it out yet, it's on my channel, so go ahead and I'll have it linked too. Basically, every week we're gonna come together and talk about mindset, a different idea, a different little bit of thought work to bring into the week ahead, so you can start each week on the right foot. I do have some notes. I do have a coffee in my little love potion mug. It's still hot. Okay. So today's topic is all about how to love yourself more, how to develop that self-love, because it's brought up literally in all different kinds of self-development. It's like, love yourself and then things will fall into place. But like when someone tells you to do that, unless you like have a basis, you're like, it doesn't mean anything. It's going in one ear out the other, or you're like getting annoyed because everyone's like, telling you to love yourself, and you're like, how though? So that's what I'm hoping to bring to you right now is a little more tangible, applicable stuff, little ways to look at your thoughts and see what you're thinking so then you can move towards loving yourself more. And here's why it's important. Let's start there because sometimes we're not even aware of how we're treating ourselves. So I'm gonna give you two examples of times where I was not loving myself, but one of them it was apparent to me, like I knew I didn't love myself, and the other time I really thought I did, and the way I treated myself was not with self-love. When I went to college, I struggled a lot with, like I think I found Tumblr or something, and I struggled a lot with my body. No matter what I did, to me, I wasn't enough. My body wasn't lovable. I wasn't lovable. So like in my brain, I was like, oh, I have to be really strict on myself. I have to create these strict rules, otherwise I'm never gonna change. And I have to change now because I don't love who I am right now. And so I was like punishing myself. In fact, I remember I would create these strict rules, really disordered thinking. So I'd create rules for myself too in like social situations, and when I didn't follow through with them, I would literally beat myself up. Oh, I would get so mad, I'd like punch my leg. And I'm like, this is messed up. Like I knew it when I was doing it. I was like, this is not okay. And that's a time where I knew I did not love myself. Flash forward to the future, you know, I had worked on it and I thought I was in an okay place. And then I got to this point where I had probably gained like 25 pounds. And it was through this act of like pleasure, indulgence, being present with myself. Those are the things I told myself. Like those are the things I said to myself. In reality, I was actually just closing my eyes to everything my body was going through, so I gained a lot of weight. And I like wouldn't weigh myself. Not that I had to, but like, you know, like I just wanted to close my eyes to what was happening. I wasn't doing healthy things for my body. I wasn't fueling my body with healthy foods. I wasn't putting myself in situations that I knew I'd have a good time in. Like I was just kind of like, this is just who I am. And it keeps me from growing and learning and becoming, you know, a higher version of myself. And so those are two times. The second time I thought I was loving myself because I wasn't feeling bad. But in reality, I was like neglecting myself. When you close your eyes and you don't even look at what's happening in your life. Hiding from reality, we're hiding from our thoughts, we're hiding from our feelings. And now I'm at a place where I genuinely do love my body. And does it look like it did when I was in high school or in college? No. You know, I love it when I'm seeing progress towards my goals, but I love it when I'm just chilling too. Like I genuinely do like it. And on top of that, I've grown to like who I am as a person. I have an idea of who I want to be and I'm working towards that. Like maybe I'm not quite there yet, but I like who I am and how I show up in the world. I'm hoping to give you some tips that you can apply in your life literally immediately, or at least start looking at how you're thinking and make some tweaks and changes so that you can love yourself more, because it's the hardest and best work you can ever do in this world. You're gonna be with yourself forever. You have to be your own best friend in this life because you're all you got. Sounds kind of sad, but I think it's fun. Anyway, the first thing towards loving yourself more is to look at and remove that self-judgment in your life. Here's how it shows up. I let myself down. Oh, I lost my way. Oh, I fell off the wagon. Oh, this is just who I am. This is just how I am. It's kind of any way of thinking where you're making problems in your life mean something negative about you. If you had a project you were working on and you really didn't do as well, or it didn't get as good of a grade as you were hoping it would, and you take it back and you're like, okay, well, I'm just lazy, I guess. Oh, I knew I couldn't do this. I shouldn't have tried. I can't do it. Those kind of statements versus, okay, what worked, what didn't, let's move forward. How can I make this better? Instead of judging yourself, you just take the facts, don't let it mean anything about you, but then make a plan to move forward. Self-judgment literally gets in the way of everything. It keeps you from trying again. It keeps you from, again, loving yourself. Like, that's the point, right? It keeps you from doing all these things in your life. And when you think about it, when you're saying these things to yourself, you're undermining yourself. And the big thing is that it's habitual. And there might be thoughts that you've been telling yourself for years. There were thoughts I was telling myself for years. Like, this is just who I am. This is just the weight I'm always going to be at. This is just how I'm always gonna feel. Basically, the stories we tell ourselves can either push us forward or take us right out of the game. And so the trick is to, one, notice when you're judging yourself. Comparison, self-doubt, self-hate. Look at those things, but don't believe them, okay? So those thoughts come up. I was talking to a client literally the other day about this. When those thoughts come up, you literally just have to tell yourself, I don't think that way anymore. Okay, I hear you, brain, but we don't think that anymore. You can literally say, we just don't think that way anymore. And eventually, if you tell your brain that enough times, the more you tell yourself that, the more you react to your thoughts that way, eventually your brain stops. It's like, oh, we aren't listening anymore. Oh, this thought isn't going through anymore. Because they're habitual, so they're gonna keep coming up. If you've been thinking things for a long time, it's gonna keep coming up. But you can just come at it with that little clap back. I don't believe you. That's something I had to do for the longest time. I was like, I don't think that anymore. You know, let me find something I do like. And yeah, and then eventually replace with positive statements. A good way to do this is you make a list of things that you love about yourself or you want to love about yourself and mix them together. I like the color of my eyes, and I've always really liked my hair, how thick it is. So I take those things that I liked and I mix them in with things that I want to like. And it can be non-physical things too. Like I say things I like about my personality. Like, I think I'm hilarious. It does not matter to me if anyone else thinks I'm not hilarious. I think I'm really funny. I had a friend in elementary school once, she goes, why do you laugh at all your own jokes? I'm like, now I would come back and be like, because I'm funny, honey. But I think I'm funny, so I put that on my list. I'm like, okay, I'm funny. I like my eyes. I like my teeth. I like how they look. But there's things I didn't like. Like, I didn't like my arms. I'm like, okay, you know, I love this body I'm in. I love my skin. You know, you just mix it in there. I love my small boobs. There's so many perks to having small boobs, but I hated it for so long. So you say the things that you already love and you mix in things that you want to love. Add in things that you want to be. I love that I'm such a good girlfriend, even when I don't feel like if I'm like, that's where I want to improve. I love that I'm working towards being a better girlfriend. Like, I love these things. So you mix them in together because you're layering that like belief with disbelief, and it kind of makes everything more believable. The next thing I'd like to talk about is comparison. We have the judgments we put on ourselves just in our day-to-day lives, but then there's like Instagram and social media, and it is so great, but it also can be so detrimental if you're not looking at yourself in a positive way. First of all, we all know at this point, if not, here's your extra reminder, you've probably heard it a bazillion times, Instagram is not real life. I love sharing my life I share a lot more on my stories, but I'm trying to share more on my posts now, like some actual like deep content, and social media is so great for that, because it can make us feel not alone. It can help us connect with people who are like us. It can help motivate us and inspire us, but it can also lead to that comparison game where we start trashing ourselves. And here's an interesting way to look at this. I actually had the pleasure of listening to Rachel Hollis speak at an event I went to. One of the things she talked about was that we never compare in the things we're good at. Think about that. Like I said, I think I'm funny. Do you see me looking up jokes or memes? Because I feel like my whole life's a meme. I don't do that. But when we're unsure about ourselves, it's like where we have that lack of confidence in ourselves, that's when we start looking to other people to see if we're getting it right. The example she gave was like with moms. Like when she became a mom, she was like Pinteresting how to be a mom, best mom tips, tricks, whatever. And then she saw all these picture perfect moms on Pinterest and felt like shit. I do it with like lifestyle. I'm 27, so a lot of people my age are getting married. Some people I graduated with have multiple kids. And sometimes I look and I'm like, am I doing this wrong? I look at their lives, even people I know. It doesn't even have to be like Instagram models. It's like people I know and I'm like, am I doing this wrong? Like, why do I not have my life together yet? Because that's somewhere where I'm like, oh, maybe I'm not doing this the correct way. It's where I lack the confidence, that's where I'm looking for other people. And of course, when you're looking at people's snapshots of the perfect parts of their lives, you can't compare. And that comparison, just like the judgment of yourself, they kind of go hand in hand, really. But that comparison game is what stops your momentum. And I would say if there's people that you continuously compare yourself and feel bad about when you see them on Instagram, remove them. And you have to come at a place that's good for you. Okay, don't worry about if you're offending people. Again, you're gonna be with you for life, and you're not doing it personally. It's not like you hate them. I mean, maybe you do, but you know, it doesn't have to be from a negative place. It's just like, this is what's better for me. And I'd rather fill my feed with things that I enjoy and make me feel good and motivated and passionate and all the nice things. If you are judging others, really take a look at yourself. In college, I did it so bad. I would sit at the lunch table and we would literally look around and compare and judge other people. I can't relate to that now, but here's where I was coming from too. So not having that confidence in myself and my own body. I was in like this fashion show thing and we all had to get changed in the same area, and I looked at another girl I knew and I looked at her and I said to myself, oh, she doesn't look nearly as good as I thought she did. And then I told my friend about it later, and thank God this friend said this to me because like it really caused me to reevaluate. She's like, that's a really mean thing to say. Do you know why I said that? Because I was judging myself 10 times more. When I was getting changed with everyone there, I was literally like, you know, getting dressed real fast, like making sure I was looking before I took my pants off. I was judging my body 10 times more than I even judged that girl. And I said a mean comment about her, right? That's just something to look at too. If you're judging other people, that's a direct reflection of what's going on in your brain. That might be hard to hear, but it's also like eye-opening. If you're judging other people for certain things, look at how you feel about yourself for those same things. Because once you're confident in that, you will not feel the need to judge other people. A confident person doesn't feel the need to bring others down. And here's why all of this matters. If you have goals, if you have dreams, if you have someone you want to become, only once I started loving myself, taking actions towards loving myself, did I become the person that I wanted to be and start seeing progress towards the goals that I wanted to reach. Because that's when I started doing things I loved versus punishing myself. The easy example is weight loss. If you want to lose weight, there's the way to do it where you're loving yourself along the way and finding things you enjoy doing. There's finding food that you enjoy eating. There's realizing what your body needs and coming from that place of I'm gonna take care of my body. And then there's the place that you can come from where you're punishing yourself, you're restricting yourself, you are taking extreme actions because you want out of your body as fast as possible. But then when you get there and you're doing, like even if you reach your goal and you're doing all these restrictive things, you are immediately gonna go back because you're not gonna stay there. Your body doesn't want to be punished, you don't want to be punished. And that's not sustainable. If you come from a place of love, of a place of learning and growing, then you will be doing things that will stick with you long term. Find the exercises you enjoy. Find the foods that you enjoy. Treat yourself like your bestie, your mom, your sister, whoever, because it all comes down to those thoughts and how we talk to ourselves. Anyway, guys, I hope this was helpful. You know, I know it's all a lot of thought work, but looking at our thoughts and thinking about how we think about the world and ourselves is literally the most powerful work you can ever do. Journal about it. If you want to follow me on Instagram, I put journal prompts up once in a while in my stories, just so like things that I'm asking myself during the day and that are really helpful to create a different mindset for the day. If you're interested in any of those, go ahead and follow me there. If you like this video and you want to see more, make sure you're subscribed and give this video a thumbs up. I hope you enjoyed. Leave your self-love tips down below. Anything that's worked for you, I'd love to hear about it. Let's help each other out, start a conversation. Until next time, I hope you guys have an awesome week, and I'll talk to you next week. Bye! Still drinking hot coffee though, because I'm dedicated.